Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We grow and raise a few things in Iowa, and so I'm very pleased to be before the committee, and thank you to the members for listening to our testimony to highlight some of the most important issues facing America's farmers, ranchers, and rural communities. So as we prepare to reauthorize the Farm Bill, I encourage the committee to improve the USDA's existing slate of conservation programs to really address the current needs of American agriculture. Conservation practices can improve resiliency against stressors like drought while still preserving soil and water quality. I've recently introduced several bipartisan pieces of legislation to improve USDA's conservation programs. One I'd like to highlight right away here is my Flood Resiliency and Land Stewardship Act. This would elevate flooding and drought as natural resource concerns under the Regional Conservation Partnership Program. This bill will ensure that flooding and drought remain a long-term focus of the program to improve American farmers' ability to withstand environmental threats. And I'd also encourage the committee to consider efforts to address regional conservation issues like those that affect the driftless region of the upper Mississippi River. The driftless region's unique topography and position on the upper Mississippi leaves it exposed to erosion and water quality issues. Building on the USDA's previous efforts through the Driftless Landscape Conservation Initiative, DALSI, will ensure that my constituents in that region have access to voluntary tools to preserve their natural resources. Empowering our farmers and landowners who know and love the driftless area with conservation tools rather than one-size-fits-all mandates from the government is the best strategy. Technology is another really important tool for farmers to manage pests and make more efficient use of inputs. Unfortunately, many precision agriculture tools can be cost prohibitive, especially for small farmers. So my bipartisan Precise Act modifies existing USDA programs like EQIP, CSP, and the Conservation Loan Program to help our small farmers access these technologies. I'd also encourage the committee to advance a farm bill that preserves market access for American producers. The Supreme Court's recent decision to uphold California's animal housing mandate, known as Proposition 12, has the potential to disrupt the free movement of goods across state lines, and it poses a serious threat to small family farms across the country. A 2023 study from Dr. Barry Goodwin of North Carolina State University found that this legislation, Prop 12, would cost farmers between $3,600 and $4,000 per sow for new construction in order to comply with California's arbitrary standards. And this just isn't a number. These mandates are already having a real-world impact on my constituents. Since the Supreme Court's decision, I've traveled throughout my state hearing from farmers who are concerned about mandates like Prop 12 and Massachusetts Question 3, which goes even further. Melissa, a farmer from my district, says Prop 12 and legislation like it creates uncertainty in her decision-making on her family farm. She shared that regulations like this will drive consolidation and provide her and her family with fewer options to source and market their pigs while driving up the price of food for families. Trish, a farmer from Buchanan County in my district, shared the transition to Prop 12 housing would cost her family farm between $3 million and $4 million. Following the Supreme Court's decision, I introduced the EATS Act to push back on mandatory arbitrary mandates like California's Prop 12. The EATS Act preserves California's right to regulate its agricultural practices within its own borders while also protecting Iowa's farmers' access to interstate commerce. So I think that any radical activists pushing an agenda like this that have never stepped foot on their family farms should come visit a farm in Iowa. I've extended an open invitation to them. We'd love to show you how our farmers care and manage their farms and the environment in the process. So I look forward to continuing to work with the committee to build consensus around a durable and bipartisan solution to protect our family farmers from damaging and arbitrary mandates like Prop 12. In closing, I'd like to thank the chairman and members of the committee for providing the opportunity to testify today. I think it's really important we bring a farm bill forward that improves and expands on the USDA's voluntary conservation programs, protects interstate commerce, strengthens our risk management tools, and again, expands access to new foreign markets. Congress can support American farmers in their work to feed and fuel the world. So thank you for letting me testify today, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Well,